What's up, y'all? It's your boy D-Style, another D-Styles Extrapoint. This is VLOG31. And I'm going to talk about the last week's Combine press conference from Ravens GM, Eric DeCosta, and our new head coach, Jesse Minter. Now, starting with my man's EDC. He was saying that he was talking a lot about the drafting process of how they doing the same process they've been doing for years, over 10 years and stuff like that. And then he said something about, somebody asked about Lamar with the whole stupid OTA things, him missing OTAs. And he basically was saying, listen, he's a two-time MVP. Lamar Jackson's a two-time MVP. He can he can do OTAs the way he been doing it if he wants. So it's voluntary. OTAs is voluntary workouts. So it's the way he been doing it, and he's been a two-time MVP. Is no big deal. And I was going to address that last video, but I was like, I'll save it for this. So, like I've been saying, it's not a big deal. I understand now it may be a big deal because it's a new coaching staff and new coach period, new coordinator, new head coach. So I think we'll see him at OTAs, maybe the full OTAs this season. So be on the lookout for that this year, especially in off-season workouts for the players coming in spring. Then he talked about a few other things. He talked about also he said something about Nnamdi Madubuike. He said he keep that between him and basically him and Madubuike. He has no updates. So because Jesse Minter, I'm gonna talk about next, talked to Madubuike a couple weeks ago. He came to the facility, and also now Bobby Trossett, Bobby Baltimore, the one that got the his own show with him and Sarah Ellison on the Vault. He said when he was at the combine, he heard that Nnamdi Madubuike is going to be coming back by the fall time. We'll see, and look like he's not going to retire. Now, only thing about that is, as long as he's fully healthy, especially with your neck injury, and then with that type of injury and the way he left, and people thought he was going to retire. I'm with it, and I'll be glad for him to come back. But I had a feeling he's going to come back, but I just want to make sure he's good. I don't want him to just come back and then all of a sudden he gets re-injured. But I don't think he wouldn't come back if that was the possibility for him to get injured like that again. So we'll see. But I think Madubuike, in his tweets, he been saying some subliminal stuff like good news with the prayer hands and stuff. So I think he's coming back. But like I said, that was basically what ADC was talking about. Also with the line, he was saying like Emory Jones and Carson Vincent is going to be developing into see what they develop to in year 2, especially Emory Jones. They might be trying to switch Carson Vincent to guard because he's a left tackle. He was drafted as a left tackle last year, but Ronnie Stanley there, he ain't gonna be left tackle probably until the next 2 years or year or two. So he might be playing guard. You never know. So can't wait for that. And that was pretty much it with Eric DeCosta. But and then Jesse Minter, the new coach, he was just talking about how he was saying in a few other interviews, not even just the Ravens presser. He was saying like how with him and Lamar. Actually, hold on. EDC said something about Lamar's contract, saying that the talks between them two is between them two with the contract, as he always said. I know everybody's waiting for the extension now. I think it's going to come up soon. It's going to come up. But like he said, that's between them two. And he said Lamar been real engaged in the offseason, especially with the coaches. He's been very engaged. and he feels, uh, Eric DeCosta feels like they're gonna get a deal done. So with his contract, so I can't wait for that. And then and it's gonna happen. I could see it happening maybe sometime this week or next week, but I think it's gonna happen very, very, very soon. And then now Jesse Minter said he been in contact with Lamar, building a relationship, as he said before. Um, his vision for Lamar, he said basically, I want him to. He was saying in a couple of interviews, not even just the presser, he did like a couple of interviews he did with Pat McAfee, Rich Eisen, a couple of these national media platforms. He was basically saying he wants Lamar to, run less and basically build an offense where he don't have to run a lot. So that's what we've been wanting. They was trying to do that with Tom Monken. I think he was trying to do that, but with Harbaugh's philosophy, that's not the case. Harbaugh still want him to run certain concepts that have Lamar running a lot. Not running a lot, but running sometimes. And I think this time I feel like they're not gonna be really gonna cut back on them options and stuff. They gonna have Lamar in a very pro type of offense, a West Coast offense where it's strictly under center, shotgun, ain't gonna be no options like that. And that's the next step for Lamar. And he's developing into that. So I'm glad he said that. A lot of fans, Ravens fans, have been saying that for years, of having Lamar in that type of offense where he don't have to run. Lean on your running backs. Lean on your offensive line. Redo the guard. Get new guards. And also Tyler Lindenbaum. We'll see what happens. EDC was saying they gave him a deal, a great deal, basically as a contract, a new contract, but basically give him more, I guess, than probably more than $20 million, but we'll see. As I've been hearing that his agent not picking up the phone for the Ravens, and basically Lindenbaum might be testing the market to see how much he get. So he might get 23. He's trying to get 25 million a year. We'll see. But like I was saying, build that offense around Lamar so he don't have to run all the time. Then he was talking about he was also talking about just building the foundation, the new foundation, the new age of the Ravens, the new way of doing things, just new everything. That's basically he was talking about. And also he also said something about Metabike. He said he seen Metabike Nnamdi Metabike a couple weeks ago. So he said he looks like he was in good spirits. So that's a good sign. He said, because he said allow him to make his announcement, probably announcement of him coming back, and probably what was his injury. So that's what we said about that. And also on one of the platforms, I think it was Mike Florio and Chris Sims on NBC. They asked him about the OTAs thing. Also, just like people asked, somebody asked Eric DeCosta. They asked Jesse Minter about it. Jesse Minter was saying, "Listen, he's a two-time MVP. He can do what he want to do, and it's voluntary." He said they would like all the players to be there. He said, but he said this key thing. He said, I think basically he was saying he basically saying is Lamar and all the players will probably want to come to OTAs because of the new way of the training and the new way of the off-season workouts is going to be, how Jesse Minter is going to set it up. It's not going to be the way Harbaugh sets it up where it's like the same thing over and over year after year. I think it's going to be a new way where the players will want to come back and because since it's new, it's going to be something new. They can learn new workouts and new regime of how they do everything and how they, basically since Harbaugh gone, it's not going to be the same thing. So I think he says it's up to the coaches and him especially create that environment where the players want to come to OTAs. Basically, that's all he said. And it sounded like Harbaugh didn't create that. He's been having the same OTA off-season workouts that players sometimes did want to come for a few days and then leave. Maybe Jesse Minter, he have something where they want to come, not just because this is first year coaching, but it'd be something where each year he adds something where the players wants to come and it's something new and learn something, And I'm so happy for that. Now we got a great new weight, great new coach, new age, everything, man. And also he's talking about Declan Doyle. He said EDC said he liked Declan Doyle's vision. That's why he hired him as a coordinator. And same thing, Jesse Minter. Basically, he's saying he's like the offensive version of Jesse Minter, Declan Doyle is for the offense, and he's going to really be drawing up some X's and O's for our offense, and his clear vision of what he wants the offense to be, especially for Lamar, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, all the rest of them guys, and whoever they sign and draft. So, that's pretty much it. That was the presser for the combine. So next is free agency, which is next week. But I know tampering free agency tampering starts, I think, this week, or it might be a couple of days, next day or two, where tampering, basically a lot of teams have setting up deals already and trades for players until the new league year starts next week. So things going to start heating up in free agency. So we'll hear about Lamar, Tyler Lindenbaum, and whoever else getting signed, re-signed, released, traded. So it's going to be a lot going on. And the draft will be, the combine of all the college players just happened. So the draft is next month. So a lot has happened. It's only the off season. Still a lot going on. So we'll see what happens. So can't wait. Like I said, see what happens with everything else with the free agency, Lamar, Tyler Lindenbaum. And this is VLOG31, D-Tāl'S Extrapoint. And I'll see y'all next time.